This is your Barbados Today evening news update for Wednesday, November 1st. I'm Ryan Jilts. The Small Business Association of Barbados warns that its members' survival is under greater threat as the central bank announced a further tightening of its monetary policy. The bank's acting governor, Cliviston Haynes, revealed that effective December 1, commercial banks will be required to hold 18% of their domestic deposits in stipulated securities, and from January 1, 2018, these banks will have to hold 20% of their domestic deposits in stipulated securities. But President of the SBA, Dean Straker, tells Barbados Today this new policy will make life even more difficult for the sector.
Small businesses have traditionally had a difficult time accessing finance, in the past. And these further impositions to start in December and in January, the further impositions on commercial banks will now make it even more difficult for small businesses to get a loan in 2018. So yeah, these are very difficult times that we are negotiating.
And on the heels of a less than favorable economic review and recent devastation caused by hurricanes affecting the region, Barbados and the rest of the Caribbean have been warned to prepare for the worst impact yet from natural disasters associated with climate change. Barbados' U.S. Ambassador Selwyn Hart says, while he's not a prophet of gloom and doom, the tourism sector on which the local economy is heavily dependent could be jeopardized. Hart was addressing the opening of the second annual Innovate Barbados conference at the Lloyd Erskine Sandiford Center this morning under the theme, Surviving Impact, Building Storm-Ready Economies in an Era of Superstorms. In other news now, the Barbados Road Safety Association says it will not voluntarily take down flags placed along Barbadian roads to alert drivers to the presence of potholes. The President, Charmaine Roland Bowen, says the flags were serving their intended purpose and the association would stand its ground. Her comments come as the Transport and Works Minister, Michael Lashley, made it clear that government would not be held accountable for any accidents caused by the flags. Lashley had said, though well-intentioned, the BRSA did not have permissions to plant the flags. However, a defiant Roland Bowen maintains if the association voluntarily removes the flags, it would be tantamount to colluding with authorities who have been neglecting their duty to road users.
Our flags, they help save persons from landing in the vehicle, in the pothole, and can also save lives, and injury from people trying to avoid these potholes at last minute when their reaction time is too late and they land in the potholes and they lose control of their vehicles and can get involved in a collision. So we in road safety, we do not react. We take a proactive approach to prevent collisions from happening, and this is one of the ways that we see it best, the safest way, for us to do that.
Okay.
So we are standing our ground, we are standing up for safety on our road. You have to stand for something. If you don't stand for something, if you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything, even fall into a pothole.
Meantime, a new date has been set for the long-promised changes to the Barbados Road Traffic Act. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Transport and Works, Simone Rudder, says the document will go before Parliament later this month.
The road safety mandate is an important one for the ministry. We do it on a daily basis. It's not just in November that we pay attention to things like road infrastructure, to setting standards, and to ensuring that we seek to have compliance and enforcement of the law. And with this, in this regard, the minister has been recently identifying that we're moving shortly to the Parliament to having the road traffic amendments to the Road Traffic Act deliberated, and we're pleased to announce that the parliamentary debate is scheduled to start this month.
Rudder's comments came during the launch of the General Insurance Association of Barbados' sponsorship of the pedestrian crossing at the junction of Country Road and Robert Street. Barbados has officially begun a 3-day period of mourning in memory of the island's longest-serving Governor-General, Sir Clifford Husbands. Across the island, flags have been flying at half-staff as a mark of respect. A state funeral will be held at the St. Lucy Parish Church on Friday, where the late Governor General will be interred next to his wife Ruby Lady Husbands. Funeral Coordinator, Government Senator Dr. Esther Barasaku, today attended a rehearsal for Friday's service. She told the media finishing touches are being made and they're in fact ready for the official ceremony.
This morning we did a dry run to ensure that everything was in place, logistics, sound, everybody knows where they have to go. So we had the whole team here today. We had the ushers, of course, the funeral director and his team, the defense force who will be accompanying the casket both in and out of the church. We had the police, because the police force band will be playing on the day. MTW is here because they're still working on the decking outside. Representatives from the church are here. Everybody is here today just to make sure that all the questions are answered and that everybody knows where they are to be on the day. And I think that we have now achieved that. So it looks like all systems are go and everything should run smoothly on Friday morning.
Sir Clifford died at his home at Mount Standfast in St. James on October 11th at the age of 91. He was the 9th Native Governor General of Barbados, having succeeded Demeter Barrow in the post from 1996 until his retirement on October 31st, 2011.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Join us from November 16th to 19th, 2017 for the Barbados Food and Rum Festival, where acclaimed Barbadian chefs and mixologists are joined by Chef Jean-Georges of the US, Chef Tom Akins of the UK, Chef Chris De La Rosa of Canada to create dining experiences to delight the senses. Visit ticketpal.com and all TicketPal locations to get your tickets, and visit foodandrum.com for more information.
To news from the region now. In Jamaica, more than 1,300 people have been murdered since the start of the year. And National Security Minister Robert Montague says while the government has been making headway in tackling the problem, more needs to be done. He laments that progress made by the security forces to fight crime has been short-lived despite significant investment. Montague says government will continue to pump resources into getting a grip on crime, but he warned Jamaicans it will not happen overnight. And finally, on the international scene, party leaders in the UK are to meet next week to discuss how to tackle sexual abuse and harassment at Westminster. Prime Minister Theresa May has invited political counterparts to talks aimed at setting up a grievance procedure after allegations emerged in recent days. She told the British House of Commons that they had a duty to ensure those who serve the public are treated with respect.
After days of damaging headlines, Westminster's scandal is still growing, the shame spread across party lines. And putting the Prime Minister under pressure again today as her deputy became the latest to have to defend himself.
Down to investigate you.
You regret your conduct?
All the allegations are completely false.
Damien Green is now the subject of a Cabinet Office inquiry over claims he sent a suggestive text message and touched the knee of a young journalist. In the Commons, he looked on as the Prime Minister was challenged about party whips sitting on compromising information about MPs.
3 years ago, I brought evidence to her in this House that whips had used information about sexual abuse to demand loyalty from MPs. I brought that information to her in this House, and I warned her at the time that unless real action was taken, we risked repeating those injustices again today.
I will say to her that I am very clear that the Whip's office, I hope this goes for all Whip's offices across this House, should make clear to people that where there are any sexual abuse allegations that could be of a criminal nature, that people should go to the police.
And that's news, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. Also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, and like us on Facebook. We're also on Izumi Media in bus terminals and on Screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. You can also tune in to Mix 96.9 FM. I'm Ryan Jones.